she's wanting you to bring more balance into your life, is what I'm hearing, and more balance into a relationship.
Okay.
But yeah, what I'm getting is she wants you to allow more love into your life, but she definitely wants you to balance that out in your life. Also bring emotional balance into your life and not worry so much, because that's the first thing I heard her say is she worries too much. And she feels that it's time to allow love into your life. So, meaning a relationship or to work on a relationship.
Yeah.
That has a lot of conflict, and what I'm getting is she's constantly surrounding you and this person that you are in a relationship with, trying to bring you back together. But there's always conflict, and she's saying, and the worrying doesn't help. But what I'm getting is she's telling me you need to communicate more with each other, because this is something that she feels shouldn't end. So, because she sees the conflict, and she's always around both of you, is what I'm hearing. She's trying to bring it back together. And she sees that you're in your mind about it. You're just overthinking it, and it's causing you to feel stuck. She sees that, and she doesn't want you to feel stuck, because you're never stuck. And she sees you work hard. You've always worked hard, but she sees that you put a lot of your focus into work, and it's because it's a sense of not wanting to feel the issues. But she's telling me that ending it is not going to bring happiness if you feel that's the answer. Yeah. She's saying release the conflict, and you both need to release control over each other, is what she's telling me. So, and to stop worrying. She keeps saying you just worry too much. And, don't worry. She's around you and your partner a lot. And she's trying to help you to heal the situation. And I think it will be, if you believe it. You have to believe, But
Yeah.
Was Amanda younger than you?
Yes.
Yeah, I felt it. She's a little feisty.
Very.
Yeah, she's funny. Yeah. Yeah, she's saying if you want things to change, you got to take the actions, you know, but the right ones, the right ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting here. Was Amanda in an abusive relationship by any chance, or?
In the past.
Yeah. she's saying she finally feels free of him. So, yeah. She's very sweet. She's very happy. And she's very happy. But she's around you often. She wants you to believe it, though. She feels you don't believe that she's there. So, but yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. But I feel after this, you'll take the actions. You know,
Yes.
you'll take
Yes,
the
I
actions.
will.
Let me, before you end the call, I want to pull uh, an oracle card for you. So,
Okay.
yeah, you're very soon. You have to decide what decision you want to make. But this is a true love connection, Tara. So, you want to make sure that the decision you make very soon is the right one. I could tell you I don't see you separating, but again, we all have free will. You have to still make the decision. So I don't see a separation happening because you're going to go back into your heart space, is what I'm hearing, and you're going to feel the love that you felt a long time ago with him. And yeah, I got this could be the one. So,
Thank you.
just think, meditate on your decision.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Tara. Have a good night. So that was really great readings. I enjoyed doing that. Also, to talk about my friend that I'm visiting, her name is Yasmin. She's letting me stay in her space for the moment. And she's a sound healer, so she's a light worker herself. And also a twin flame herself. But I've been having a blast with her. I've been meditating out in nature and near water, which was, like a water baby. I love water. I release everything near water. And also trees. I love trees, but I'm sure some people are laughing because that typical like tree hugger person. But I get energized through nature, and I actually when I meditated here, I connected to some really really strong energy, very powerful. So I felt it was very native. Native in nature, the spirit I was feeling. So, but I love Colorado, and I don't know, I'm thinking about moving here because I really like it. It beats California, I'll tell you that. But I hope everyone had a great week, and people that are going through tough situations, it's almost over and you're almost free. And a lot of the times we have to remember that when we don't like something, we can make the decision to change it. There's nothing holding us back. We don't have physical chains or someone, holding us back. It's in our mind, and it makes us feel like something is holding us back, but there's nothing. You can do anything as long as it's good energy. Do it, but we always have a choice, and sometimes the consequences are worth it and sometimes they're not, but that's how you learn, right? Can't be perfect in life. So yeah, actually when I was meditating too, I felt the energy was so strong I got a little nauseous. I made some tea. I was like, whoa, it's really strong energy around in this area that I'm in. It's really, there's not much here, but some small shops and trees and mountains and water. And it's perfect, but intense energy for sure. So I'm sending everyone love and light, and I will see everyone next week when I get back in LA. And thanks to the other psychics on this channel giving me the kudos on the posts. I appreciate that. And I wish everyone a great night. And I have 2.5 minutes left. I always do that. So I'm going to sip on my tea because I'm thirsty, but I love tea. And my friend Yasmin. And also thank you to Anna, who lives upstairs. Thank her for having me over as well. But I love tea because it's very relaxing. I highly recommend people either take showers or baths before they go to bed, or they at least drink tea. It'll help you sleep so much better. And so I really need to get a timer on when to end the show. I'm so bad with that because time doesn't exist for me. That's a man-made. Time doesn't exist. It's all energy. So I'm sending everyone love and light, and I will see you all next week.
Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Modern Mystic Radio Show. I'm your host, Mystic Sarah, and we're on A1R Psychic Radio, the world's #1 psychic radio network. Plus, we're on Moonstruck TV. So if you would like your own private reading with me, it's very easy to do that. You can go straight onto my website, which is www.modern-mystic.co.uk, or you can find me on Facebook under Mystic Sarah and also under Modern Mystic. I do a weekly free psychic session, so if you fancy having your own mini reading, you can get involved in that way. Of course, you can call in tonight. I am taking 2 callers tonight. So let's talk about our topic for today, which is the full moon in Sagittarius. We're still within that energy, so I wanted to really recap on certain things that you can do around that full moon energy. And when we're looking at full moons, we are looking at using that energy of the full moon to amplify what we would like to achieve. Now, with each moon, in terms of where it falls within the astrology side of it, will be good for certain things. So let's have a look at what a full moon in Sagittarius would and possibly could be good for. Okay, so we have spells for legal matters in general. laws, judges, teaching and learning, education, philosophy and ethics, dreams, contacting the higher planes, accessing the Akashic records, contacting God in general, divination, starting a tradition, big business, conscience, luck in general, and of course good luck. Also rules are in-laws. So looking at who we are married to and their family, parties and fun, long journeys, dream work, high mysteries, higher learning, sports, good deeds, goodwill, fame, generosity, eternal optimism, resilience, rationalization, future orientated, movement forwards, mind expansion, spiritual occurrences, the ability to perceive right and wrong, faith, television, languages, and publishing. Okay, so maybe you would like to get your own book written, or going forwards, maybe you would like a publisher to take notice of what you've written. Perhaps you want to get onto TV, perhaps you want to launch your career, whatever it is that you want to put a little bit of extra energy or momentum into, now would be a good time to use that full moon energy. So how do we do that? Well, what I always do, I'm just going to give you what I do, is I light a candle. Now, if we're looking at Sagittarius, I go for the colours blue, violet, red or indigo. If you don't have any of those colours, that's not a problem. You can go for white. What you would do is write your intentions down, what it is that you would like to move forward with over the coming months, and then just meditate on that as you wait for that candle to burn down. It really is as simple as that. So reflect, imagine what it is. We say meditating, imagine what it is and how you would feel if those things were actually brought into your life. Okay, right, so I have also picked a card for today. Or for this week, actually. And this is what I have picked out earlier as I was waiting to come onto the show. We have the Nine of Cups, or the Nine of Chalices, as it is in this card. And I'm using the deck, the Syrian Starseed Tarot. So if we look at the Nine of Cups, or the Nine of Chalices, it's known as the wish card. So what wishes do you want to come true? And more importantly, it's giving us the energy to make those things a reality. So I would say over the next week, it's going to be a time where you're finding more and more things actually go your way. And perhaps, is it going to be your big dream coming true, or is it going to be smaller dreams? Who knows? It's life is what you make it at the end of the day, but this is the energy to be focusing on. Right, okay, let's go on to my first caller. We have Laura, who is in Dublin, Ireland. Laura, can you hear me?
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
And what would you like me to look at for you today?
I've a lot going on at the moment, as in I am trying to move premises. I'm trying to move house, and I'm just wondering if it's going to happen this year. Okay. All right, let's have a look and see what we have for you. So as I'm tuning into this whole move, it's like the energy that I'm being given here is like it's been blocked. Does that make sense? Or it feels like it keeps on falling through. I just feel like I've got hiccups when we're looking at actually getting this move in place. I do feel that, and I'm getting a lot of indications that we're looking a little bit further into the year here. And I am being shown here you changing direction over a long period of time, over after waiting. This is what I'm being shown for you. So are you actually looking to move a distance as well? No, it'll be very close to where we are. Okay. Are you near the sea at all? I am, yeah. Okay, right. It's just I'm picking up water around your move. So it feels as though the move itself is, it feels like it's in the lap of the gods. And I feel like you've got to be patient because the house that you are meant to be actually moving into, it feels, it feels destined in some way. So I've got the element of divine timing around it, which I feel partly accounts for this sense of a long delay in terms of getting the ball rolling. If I'm going to look at timing for you, I mean, I have got this year. But I feel like I'm looking at after summer. I want to go sort of September, October time for you, okay? This is when I feel that all the right conditions are actually going to be there. And this is also where I feel that the right house for you is going to be coming in. Now, what I'm being drawn towards here is I'm being given a number around this house, which is the number 11. So I've got 2 ones here with you. I mean, it could possibly be 111 or 101, but I want to give you 11 as a really significant number. I feel that in many respects, the place that you're in at the moment holds within it some difficult times. Does that make sense? Some difficult memories. And I feel like the whole energy of the house hasn't really worked very well for you. Does that make sense to you? As though you've encountered lots of problems since being there. And there's also the sense of outgrowing the property as well, sort of emotionally or vibrationally. Does that make sense to you?
Okay. Yeah, so definitely outgrown it, as in kids. There's so many kids, there's no room left.
So when we're looking at your next move, I feel that it's going to match you a lot better, or certainly match the family a lot better than what you have at the moment. But my feeling here is that it's been really complicated to get this ball rolling. I keep on being shown here the month of October as being really, really strong with this move. This is where I feel the right house is actually going to call to you. Okay, I feel like that's
this year or next year.
I feel like it's this year. I do feel that it's this year. But October seems to be the month for you. I feel like this is where everything is kind of falling into place. And also it is the point where you're able to start all over again, because this is what this move really symbolises for you. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, has that answered your question?
Yes, it has. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and take care, and thank you for calling into the show.
Okay. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Right. Thank you. Enjoy your evening. Right, we're going to go on to our next caller, and we have Shannon, who is in Stockbridge, Georgia. Hi, Shannon. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you.
What? Oh, thank you. What would you like me to look at for you?
I feel like that my whole life is in chaos right now. I have 4 grown children, and but they don't live with me. It's just like there's so much going on. I don't know how to explain it. Just maybe a general reading, maybe. I'd like to know if if this is going to get better anytime soon.
Okay, let's have a look and see what we've got here.
Thank you.
Okay, so as I was listening to you speak, one of the most confusing things with you at the moment is that next step, okay? Or what is it that you need to be focusing on to change the trend of what's been happening, okay? Because what I'm being shown here is like you being caught up in everyone else's issues and problems. Does that make sense? So instead of reaching that, instead of reaching that quiet time that you thought you were going to be getting, it's almost as though I feel like it's like your time is totally dominated by everyone else. And just when you think you're going to get a little bit of time to just focus on you or breathe, I feel like, boom, something else comes in because what I'm being shown here is, yes, we have got major problems being presented, but also we have, it's like a whole variety of smaller issues, okay? But it seems to be like compounding everything at the moment. Like I'll get this great weight, as though you're totally overwhelmed by what's going on in and around you, okay? So instead of reaching that sense of balance and peace, it feels like it's gone the opposite way. So what is it? This is the thing. What is it that you need to be focusing on to break this trend? Because I feel like in many respects, you've given it the gift of time, and it still hasn't got any better. It feels like it's got worse. So I feel that something needs to shift with this. Right, so let's just see where you are at the moment, because I feel like the energy is actually talking about, the cards are talking about you kind of reclaiming yourself. Does that make sense? Reclaiming your life. And I feel... I feel that, part of that is going to have to be learning to say no from now on, okay, within reason. It feels as though there's like everybody kind of pulling all of your energy out of you all the time. And what I'm getting here with this is that you're exhausted from all of that. Does that make sense? And you've got no energy. It's not just time, but you've got no energy to move forward with anything in your life. And you feel now stuck,
I really do, yes.
More stuck than you did when your children were younger. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And now,
yes, ma'am.
Let's just see what we get in terms of you and how to make the shift. Right, so the first thing that I feel needs to shift and change with you is the work side of it. So what I'm being shown here is that's what you need to focus on to begin with, and then I get other things, almost like a domino effect, starting to shift and change for you. Okay.
Okay.
So what I feel here is that I'm being told here you have to learn to say no, and you're going to have to start to be disciplined with your own time, okay? Because my feeling here is that, unless that happens, people are still going to pull on your energy. Now, what my guides are also saying here is that, it's got to this stage because on some level, and that level might be totally acceptable and totally reasonable. It's not a judgment in any way, but what my guides are saying here is that you've allowed this to kind of get to this stage, okay? Not for a negative reason, but the reason being is that you just want to help people. Does that make sense? And you want to be there, and you want to be a good mum and a good role model. But my feeling here is it's gone too far. Does that make sense? They're also talking about like arguments within the family. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am, totally.
Yeah, like you're being caught in the middle of other people's dramas. That's what I'm being shown.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So when we're talking about saying no, this is what you've got to start saying no to, okay? It's the dramas and being involved in those, not obviously the cry for, real help. Does that make sense? There's no need for you to compromise your own values. But this is what my guides are saying that you need to start with. That will, I feel like I've got a lot more sort of time becoming available to you. Everyone's energy sort of disbanding, and they're going to find the next person to kind of offload all of their dramas onto. Now, this will give you the option, I feel, to focus on where you want to go, where we're looking at work, because my feeling here is that you are needing some sort of change. Does that make sense? I feel as though everything has become quite stale for you. Does that make sense?
It's kind of bad. I'm in a bad relationship, and like you said, I feel stuck. I don't know what my first move needs to be to better. Does that make sense? I mean, I don't know what to do next. My husband passed away in '09, and it's like my life's been chaos since. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, I mean, what my guides are really sort of like pointing you towards. See, they're saying, in order to create change, we need to have a pretty full battery pack, okay? And at the moment, this isn't something that you've got. Okay, I feel like you've been worn down and worn down and worn down. Okay, so what my guides are talking about is you strengthening yourself. Okay, and it's actually starting with an area that has got nothing to do with your home life. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So by strengthening the work side, what you're going to find is that that's going to give you extra confidence, okay, as well as many other things. But that is your first step, clawing yourself out of, the situation that you're in at the moment, okay? It feels as though everyone is taking advantage of you in one way or another, okay?
Yes. And the person I'm with yes.
I mean, in terms of actually walking away from that situation and walking away from that relationship, that is going to take a lot of energy for you. And I feel, in some respects, people would just say to you, well, why don't you just leave? But I don't feel like it's as easy as that for you. I feel that, it might, do you know what I mean? I feel like it's going to cause other problems. It doesn't seem that that's just the sensible, otherwise you would have done it. Does that make sense? If that was the easy answer, you would have done that by now.
Yes. Yes.
But, the point being is that I feel that if we're looking at when your husband passed away, I feel that it's almost as though other people could pick up on your vulnerability from not just at that time, but going forwards as well. And I feel like they've kind of monopolized on that vulnerability, and it's just ended up being a really negative cycle for you. Okay. But as with everything, I am a strong believer that the challenges that we're given are never meant to destroy us. We are always destined to overcome them. And this is what I feel with you, is that you're destined to overcome this and actually get everything back in order. Okay. The challenge being is that you haven't been able to do that ever since your husband passed away. And you've never really felt complete since he's gone. Does that make sense? You've never, there's always been something missing since he's left, even though you've got another relationship. There is some positivity coming in around your immediate family.